It's time for a front wheel drive slice of Japan. Because for 20 points this week in autumn, you can go ahead and grab yourself the Mitsubishi FTO GP version R. Cool car, very long name. So this wonderful little thing has 197 brake horsepower, 147 foot-pounds of torque and weighs roughly around 2,530 pounds. So taking a look at this funny little thing, it looks a bit like a fish at the front. To the side it does look pretty good, and I actually kind of like the lights at the back as well. Going to the inside, there's all manner of dials over here, including 2 dials in the middle, which are absolutely massive. Absolutely insane. Right, let's go ahead and take a listen to this thing, shall we? So here we are now in the upgrade shop, and the first thing we're doing is jumping straight to conversion to see what's available for this thing. We've got ourselves a couple of engine swaps. We of course have got ourselves a 2-litre inline-4 turbo and also the ever dreaded 1.6-litre inline-4 turbo rally. Now, I'm not quite too sure what car the 2-litre inline-4 turbo is out of, so if you happen to know, go ahead and let me know in the comments. In the meantime, you can also go ahead and make this thing a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel, as it starts out front-wheel drive from the factory. And if you want, you can also go ahead and either turbocharge or supercharge this thing. So going over to aero and appearance, it does get very interesting, because for the front, we've got the Boss Speed front bumper, which does look actually kind of cool, I'm not going to lie, I do like that. And then going to the back, we've got the Boss Speed rear wing as well as the ever-dreaded Forza Aero, and also the option to take the wing off entirely. Before we go further, a word to Forza. Why do we keep getting half a body kit and not the entire thing? It's happened a lot recently. Please can we start getting full body kits again? In the meantime, with that mini rant out of the way, here is this week's race tune. It's once again been built by our wonderful mechanic Mac, and here is the share code should you wish to go ahead and download it for yourself, a bit like I'm about to do now. So with these upgrades, we're now rocking 2,232 pounds in weight, so I've definitely made this thing lighter, and nearly 350 brake horsepower. This should be fun. And so with that tune applied, now it is over to the paint shop. So going to advanced, there is sadly no advanced painting options. And going to manufacturer colours, we've got ourselves 1, 2, 3 different ones to choose from. And honestly, I think the white does look kind of cool. The only not so cool bit is waiting for it to save. So I found out why they called it the Mitsubishi FTO, and that was in reference to the Galant FTO, which was apparently one of Mitsubishi's first sports cars. Very interesting. And away we go. There's a Silvia to our right. There's also, I think, a GTO to our right, and oh, there's a lot. Okay, we're also up against Paul Walker, apparently. Right, into the first turn we go. We're a little sideways, a little understeery, but then again, this thing is a front-wheel drive. But look at the power coming out the edge of that turn. We've made out quite a lot of positions, and we're side by side with the Silvia, and now we're in front of it. We've also been given a challenge of a time to beat of 2:06, so this should be very, very interesting, and I'm going to have to drive just so much out of this thing. In the meantime, while I'm driving the wheels off this thing, you can go ahead and pick up an actual one of these in the UK off of Auto Trader for roughly £7,000, which is this in US dollar. Although that's if you can find one, because even though these things are cool, they are also very, very rare indeed, with only 253 of them currently still taxed and MOT'd on UK roads. And I think the cool thing is, out of all of those, I've seen a few of them as well in person. It's kind of an interesting car. But for now, we've got a time to beat, so I'm going to try and focus on that. Alright, here's the finish line, and across we go with a wonderful first place. Everyone else is miles behind, but did we beat the time? We didn't. 2:08. Oh well, maybe next time. Well, we might not have beaten the time, but we sure did get a very, very good drive out of that indeed. However, we're not done with Mechanic Mac's tunes just yet, because there is another one waiting for us. And here is the tune we were looking for. It is Wheel Good by Big Macintosh 762. So let's go ahead and haul up the share code. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab that for yourself, because we're going to do that and go and see what it's all about. So with this set of upgrades, we're even lighter than last time at 2,138 pounds with 844 brake horsepower. As long as none of that horsepower actually brakes, then we should be fine. And here we are over at the... No, wait, hold on, wrong festival. There we go, that's better. Right, let's go ahead and get a bit of a wheelie check out of this thing, see what we get. Do we get anything? We do. It keeps going. It keeps going. I didn't think it'd keep going like that. Okay. Right, here we are now over at the edge of the drag strip. We're all lined up. Let's go ahead and get on launch control, and away we go with this thing. Only 844 brake horsepower, but it does pick up very, very quickly indeed. I'm hoping for still a pretty fast sort of speed through the camera. Let's see what we get. 198, which is not bad. And off the end of the drag strip at 216 miles an hour. And like normal, still no brakes. Anyway, now I've managed to be able to just push this thing back into the edge of the Horizon Festival, let's go ahead and actually have some fun with this ourselves. We are going to slap in the 2-litre inline-4 turbo. We're also going to go ahead and slap in some all-wheel drive as well. And we're going to go and really upgrade this thing, and hopefully we should get a decent top speed. Although before any of that, we're definitely getting better brakes. Yeah, that seems about right. The only downside, however, to building this car myself is now I have to go and tune it myself as well. This is going to take an age. Well, now I'm done with that car, let's go ahead and check out some more, because now we've got backstage voting. We have got the Aston Martin DBS and Bentley Turbo R versus the Ferrari 599XX and the Alfa Romeo 155. We have a battle of the British versus the battle of the Italian. Two very, very good cars. But I really want to support the British here and go with Aston Martin and Bentley. What would you have chosen? Let me know in the comments. And of course, we can't forget the Forza Horizon shop now, can we? We've got the McLaren F1 GT in this week. We've got another backstage pass, the black danger sign t-shirt, the 911 GT1 Porsche Strassen version. And we've also got the Windows Tada car horn, which sounds a bit like this. Ah, wonderful. We've also got the Horizon Super Wheelspin and the regular Horizon Wheelspin as well. And now, out to the motorway. And now it's time to play our favourite game of how close are we to that one motorway grey. I've picked a location and let's see, how close did we get today? Is it in front of us? Nope, it's still behind us. One of these days I'll get it right. Anyway, here we are now over at the edge of the motorway, onto launch control, and away we go. Let's go ahead and see what we get out of this thing. I'm hoping for a pretty decent top speed, because it did well on the drag strip. It did relatively well during racing as well. So if we got this, then essentially we have a hat trick of things this car can do. Which, to be fair, also makes a really good selling point. And out the speed zone, 246.64 miles an hour, which is pretty good indeed. And we still have the downhill and speed camera to go, so this thing could get even quicker than that. Of which is honestly going to be very, very surprising if it does. Any second we should see... There's the camera, 253.62, going downhill, 256, 257, 258, 259, 260 miles an hour out of the Mitsubishi FTO. This thing is... It's mad. I love it. I never thought I'd say that about a Mitsubishi, but this thing is genuinely that quirky. It's kind of cool. We're also going to ignore how I absolutely just crucified the gearbox. So now we've got one more tune left, and I did say we'd be coming back to this one, and now we are. So let's go ahead and bring up the share code. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab it for yourself, and we're going to do that and see just how good this tune can be at drifting. And as it's a drift tune, of course, it means our favourite drift zone is back once again. Let's go ahead and see what we get. The answer to that at the moment is very, very sideways. And how many points do we get? 39,943 on attempt number 1. To be fair, that's pretty impressive. And now it's time for run number 2, this time going back the other way. Let's go ahead and see what we get. I think we might have slightly overdone that entry, but let's go ahead and see if we can claw it back on the way out at 35,557 points. Had I not messed up that entry, we would have probably gotten a higher score, but oh well. In the meantime, that is the humble Mitsubishi FTO. Maybe not quite so humble after all. If you ask me, this thing's insane, but I love it. Anyway, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. This thing's only 20 points. It is definitely worth getting, and definitely worth not doing that. Oh dear. Man, the insurance company is going to be mad at me after that one. But it is definitely worth getting. This car's a lot of fun. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And as ever, thanks for watching. Tech out. See ya. I wonder what's being added next.